Let me give you a guided tour. Let us learn some more.
Hi guys, I'm the Amastorian, and I'm back with another part in this video series on the battle at Visby 1361. And this is also gonna be a reply video to Shad at Shadiversity on his video Why the Medieval People Loved Warfare. And that's gonna be in the back end of this video, okay? So bear with me. What can these bones in these mass graves actually tell us? Well, they can tell us a bit of this and a bit of that. And some of them we can actually say these were probably, most probably, Gotlanders. And that's without DNA, okay? I'm gonna explain it. A third of these bones have, or these skeletons has cut injuries to their lower arms, to the forearms and their lower legs, indicating that they did not have armor there, or substantial amounts of it at least. And that is not that strange. If they didn't have armor there, they would exploit it. That was standard practice. But one knee joint has been found, a part of a femur and a tibia, or rather a full femur and a tibia, with something that is called ankylosis, which is a form of caused by an inflammation in the joint, causing the bones in the femur and tibia to join together and actually grow together, creating a solid structure, which means that this guy could not straighten or bend his knee at all. That leg was completely useless to him. He must have walked with a crutch and probably had a terrible pain in his leg. Another femur was found too, with an abnormal bone structure or bone growth, a bone spur, which in itself it's not painful, but that spur would put pressure on surrounding tissues and probably even nerves, and that would cause a serious amount of pain, meaning that this guy also would have needed a crutch to hobble around. And this is not the worst part. The worst part is these bones. Both what I think is forearm bones, and these are jaw bones, the lower jaw. And you can clearly see on the size difference that these are from children. Yeah, the bones from the children has little to no cut injuries to them, but that would probably be because the armor of the day, or any armor, would be sized for a full-grown man, not a 10-year-old child. So even if armor was available, which we know was, to the Gotlanders, they would not have been able to give it to the children. So why do I claim that we can say that these were Gotlanders? Simple. Who would draft limping men that could barely stand on their own and children to an invading army consisting of largely of mercenaries? No one. No one. So who must they have been then? Well, they must have been the Gotlanders. They've lost one battle, maybe 2 or 3, there was supposed to have been more than one than battle at Mesterby before this, in this invasion. So what do they have left? Well, they have the children and the sick and the people that can barely stand. So they draft up everything they can. They muster everything they can, including children, meaning they were desperate to stop this invasion. And the worst part of this is that child soldiers is still a problem today. There are still children in combat and in war today, not just in war zones as civilians, but actual as soldiers in active combat. And that is truly horrific. So, to the next part of this. And this is gonna be the reply to Chad at Shadiversity. I've been a subscriber to Chad and his channel for a long time, and I really love the channel. And he's one of my truly big inspirations to have started my channel myself. And largely I agree with most that he says, and I really enjoyed the channel. You said, Chad, that people cheered when World War I was declared, and they cried when World War II was declared. Yeah, that is true, but there's a reason to it, other than they just woke up to the horrors of modern warfare. Yeah, with technology evolving, the capability for destruction just adds. It just gets worse and worse. And that is true. But there's another aspect that is very, very important, and that is media. With World War I, media started covering the war in a big way. When media presses this up in your face constantly, you can't escape it. Before this, especially in the Middle Ages, war was just something that the priest talked about sometimes, and in the church sometimes someone got drafted for war, yeah, and didn't come back. Sometimes more people, yeah, but in a big way it was something that was just far off, which no one ever really knew about. But that changed with media. It pressed up the horrors of war in the face of people, even if they weren't actually involved. And that changed the public view quite a bit. We saw this in a big way in the Vietnam War, where USA and France lost the war due to media's covering that war, causing the popular opinion in both France and America to sway so much that they simply lost the war due to politics, not to warfare itself. So that's one point. The other point I want to make, that yes, black humor is very much true. I agree with you completely. Executions and the desensitization of people, yes, I agree. Executions was a form of spectacle that the people watched, and it was considered educational for people to take their children to an execution to see someone get executed. It was supposed to be good for the children to see it, so they would grow up to be good people. yeah, that sort of desensitizes you, and we can see this in the different ways that people were tortured during the Middle Ages. That was truly horrific. People were truly horrific to each other when it came to torture. Wow. So many ways people can cause pain to each other. And largely because of this, yes. But also, people were just normally people that lived their own lives in a ordinary society. And mostly, people were never involved in these things. So, in a war, you usually have an aggressor, someone who goes into battle and goes into the war, and mainly starts it, and the defender that is attacked. As in the instance of the invasion of Gotland, you had the invaders, or the aggressors, the Danes, Valdematerdag, and the defenders, the Visby the Gotlandic farmers. And the aggressors did have this glorification of war, they did have all that. I agree with you. But the defenders did not. You can't say that someone can claim that warfare can be glorious when you throw in people walking on crutches and children into the mix. You can't say that, it's just nuts. That, oh my god, that just doesn't add up. I'm sorry, Chad, but I don't agree with you. Not on that part. There are too many sides to this to make a statement that everybody in a era would have that narrow-minded identity that everyone loved war in this way. No. Some people did, for specific reasons. You mentioned them yourself. Yes, I agree with you. But some people did not. And usually it was just who instigated and who defended. But the defending side did not like this. They could not do it. I'm sorry. But this has been it for now. Leave your comments below, all of you, and bye bye.
Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe.